How's it going everyone, and welcome back to another video of the F1 2020 My Team Career Mode, where we're bringing Brabham back to the very top of Formula 1. Before we get started today, we've had the sad news that Ron Tauranac has passed away. For those that don't know, Ron was the chief designer of many Brabham Formula 1 cars, and without Ron, the Brabham team never would have been as successful as it was. Jack never would have achieved his third and final iconic world championship in a Brabham car. He was a pioneer and a fantastic man. Ron had such a massive part to play in the whole of the Brabham team that every car ever built by Brabham begins with BT and then a number. The BT stands for Brabham Tauranac. It shows that his influence throughout history was so important that he remains within the process of any car that is now built, much like the BT62 that's built today. Now, with Brabham returning into Formula 1 with us through the game, I would like to name our car the BT101 as a homage to Ron and the Brabham name, and to keep that legacy of BT cars carried on. So from all of us in the Brabham family, rest in peace, Ron, because without you, Jack's legacy and the whole of the family wouldn't be in the position we are today. Thank you. Thank you for watching that little piece. Any comments you have below, any questions about Ron or the family and that history, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer anything. Now heading into the Chinese Grand Prix, hopefully we can carry on with that great result that we had in the last round of getting points with a few new packages that we've got on the car through the R&D page. We've got a few resource points to use, so I'm going to do a spark plugs upgrade and hopefully give us a bit more engine power to really start catching up on the straights, particularly to those Mercedes and Ferrari powered cars. Now that we've reached level 5 acclaim, we can choose a brand new secondary sponsor and keep bringing that cash into the team. I'm going to choose Zigzag. As a team, complete a total of 30 laps during a race weekend, with a goal bonus of 112k and a weekly income of 100k. Now, it's not the highest, but it's one of the most achievable ones, and I wanted to get that money in nice and early, get them in quick, so we can start to develop our team, build our resources, and build our team up to try and challenge for more and more points as we go along. Now that we've completed all that, let's head into the weekend and get ready for the Chinese Grand Prix. Ready for the Chinese Grand Prix qualifying. In practice, I felt like I struggled quite a lot. I had to really do a lot of practice programs to really get the car where I felt comfortable driving it, to give me as much pace as possible, and we'll head straight in to the action in qualifying. Heading in to turn 3, heavy braking, second gear corner, used a bit too much curb there on my first run. I did 2 laps because the first run wasn't overly good. I felt like the car was okay, but I made a few mistakes over the lap, unfortunately, through this quick section through here, through the right, had to drop it down into 4th, try to get on the power, but just ran wide, and then coming into the last corner, over the curb, ran a little bit wide there, and hopefully I didn't get track limits, but didn't delete the lap, which is good. 1:33.9, not great. I didn't feel comfortable, and as you can see, as I've scrolled down towards the end of the session, P22 and last, way off our teammate as well, and I had to try and find some time. Again, coming into this turn 4, I managed to get it stopped and rotated a bit better, not on the curb, and I managed to get a good exit, which gained me a little bit of time. Again, through the quick section, fast left, not quite flat out, into the right-hander. I managed to get a better line through here. As you can see, the time gain was quite a lot, 2-3 tenths, down the gears, into the left, and then I got a much better exit. I ran wide at the exit on the previous lap, so half a second up through this point, and I felt pretty good. And then over the line, 7 tenths faster, 1:33.1. Didn't really put us where I wanted to be, as Lewis Hamilton is on pole, and there we are, 21st, Mick 20th, which is a good result for him. I personally didn't feel comfortable with the lap at all, but good thing Mick did a good job, and hopefully he can take that into the race, but not ideal. The car felt very labourish, and I was able to get a little bit out, and I'm not sure I could have gone much faster than that. I'm pleased in some ways because it means the difficulty where I have it is strong, and it's a real challenge, which is the enjoyable part of the series as well.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. Why do you think you weren't as quick as your teammate today?
I made a few mistakes, and they were a lot more consistent, and that's certainly true. I did make quite a few mistakes, unfortunately.
Your qualifying pace didn't put you at the front of the grid. Will this be a problem tomorrow?
I don't really expect to be at the front of grid just yet, but if the car can last durability and get to the end, then we'll be just fine, and hopefully we'll get a good result.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. We're here in the Yangtze River Delta today, home of the 16 corners that make up the Shanghai International Circuit. 54% of this 3.3-mile lap is taken at full throttle, and we'll be getting up to speeds of around 200 miles an hour, with DRS assisting the cars down the back straight before they brake into the sharp hairpin at turn 14. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Let's talk briefly about Lando Norris. Looks like they've got a tough race in store today, as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the field.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Vettel, Verstappen, Alexander Albon, and Sainz, Ricciardo, Perez, Ocon, and Charles Leclerc, Stroll, Fiat, Pierre Gasly, and Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Grosjean, Kevin Magnussen, and Lando Norris. They've taken a grid penalty. Russell, Schumacher, Mr. Monaco, and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Welcome to the Chinese Grand Prix qualifying. I have to admit, we really struggled. The pace was pretty shocking, which is a shame. So we're starting quite far back, but hopefully we can make some moves in the race, use that back straight in the DRS to get us up the grid, and hopefully get a good result for both me and Mick. I'm going to be using the one-stop strategy from the mediums to the hards. I have gone back on the laps that we're going to do on the medium tyre from 13, which it suggested, to 12. Maybe try and get an undercut on some of the other cars around us and hopefully overtake a few people in the pits so we can get a good result today. Ready for the start here in China. ERS in, 5 red lights, and away we go. Decent start there, got ahead of Mick. I'm going to go hard on the inside. Going to try and sneak up the inside of a few here into first gear. Go around the outside. Being pushed a little bit there, but we've gone up quite a few places now, up ahead of Giovinazzi. Going to go inside. First gear, get it stopped with the 2 AlphaTauris. Around the outside if we can. So we've got the inside for this bit. Great move there, try and get it slowed down. Great start. I tell you what, that is a fantastic opening lap. Oversteer City going on here. Bloody hell.
Keep pushing. Let's capitalize on that first lap.
Gasly's coming pretty quickly. We meet again. Try and get it stopped in first gear and out of the corner. It's a great first lap for us. Fantastic first lap. I'm going to try and defend my position early here. Just keep the position rather than try and follow, because we've not been quick in qualifying or practice, so I'm going to have to really work hard to try and keep these guys behind. As you can see, Gasly, I don't know how they're so much quicker. Around the outside, get it stopped. It's fortunate that we're pretty quick out of there in comparison to the AI, but with this sort of pace that I'm feeling at the moment, it's going to be a very, very long Grand Prix. That use of ERS was important out of there. And as we know from Gasly's past with us, he's certainly not afraid to stick it up the inside and have a crack, so we're going to have to be careful with him. 10 out of 10 for bravery for Gasly, but maybe a 3 for decision making at the moment. It's going to be a long race defending from these lot. You can see how much Ricciardo has gapped us as a few of the front runners pit. Trying to keep Gasly behind is really difficult at the moment. Didn't get a good run through there. Shocking. Really wide. Understeers really bad at the moment, and Gasly's gonna come. I'm just gonna concede the place if I make a mistake like that.
Okay, we lost the position. Try to keep focus.
Back up the inside. Get stopped. We were close enough there to make a move, and I'm not going to let him go that easily, but it feels like it's only a matter of time. To get a bit of oversteer out the last corner. It's only a matter of time before he does come past us.
9 seconds.
Surely not round the outside into turn 1. Stay to the inside, hope that he goes outside. As he knocks into us a little bit. Hopefully he's picked up a bit of wing damage, to be honest. It's quite clear where I was going with that. Stay inside. Just ran into the back ever so slightly, but that's okay.
Runners in the pits.
Trying to get it slowed down for here is impossible. Get it rotated. We desperately need these upgrades to come because our car at the moment is not quick enough. We got super lucky at Hanoi. Got this huge train behind us.
8.6 seconds.
Going inside. Good defensive move there. Just to block him off enough where he didn't fancy it up the inside. He'd be getting so frustrated now. I'd be fuming if I was having to put up with a car this slow in front of me. I don't know why, but the car feels as bad as it has done since the first round. And we've been making upgrades. I can't tell if it's just it doesn't suit this track or we've got setup problems. I did make a few changes and it did feel even worse. So I've run wide there. It's the worst place to run wide. But hopefully we'll get away with it. I'm just going to stay inside. I'm fighting this position as Gasly comes streaming past us. Outbrake him. First gear, try and get it stopped. Just block him off on the exit there. We'll keep him behind us for another lap. Oh, as if, Gasly. We're coming out of the corner, you muppet. How many times does Gasly want to hit us in a race?
To the car ahead is 11.
I know you're getting annoyed, mate, but Jesus Christ, that is shocking. Pierre Gasly must have some sort of vendetta against me at the minute. 2 Grand Prix already this year where he's decided to run into the back of us at a position where you're never going to overtake. On the exit are there, into the left-hander. Shocking behaviour. And I hope for his sake, he's picked up some damage, because that is just appalling. I saw that go red at the bottom, and it looked like he was going to try and send it again. I know I'm slow, Gasly, but this is getting ridiculous. Really start to feel the tyres going off now. Pit window's open next lap, so not too long to go.
Is 14.7 seconds.
How bad is that? Kvyat 14 seconds ahead of us, with his teammate struggling to get past. Shows how slow we are. I feel like I'm a moving chicane at the minute, but if we can get to the pit window and salvage a result here, I'll be happy, to be honest. Pit window's open. Trying to get this thing rotated. It is like turning a bus. And in practice it felt even worse than this. When we first arrived at the track, I was so far off. I spent quite a lot of time getting the most out of the practice programs and really spent time trying to figure out how to make this thing quicker. So I managed to make a few setup changes that helped increase the camber to try and lean on the tyre a bit more. Doesn't help tyre wear, but I need something in the corners to try and help me out.
It is 16.8 seconds.
It's a good first stint as we come into the pits. They've gone past us, and the floodgates have probably opened for all of them, because we have not been quick. So hopefully our team could give us a good pit stop here, a quick time. Hard tyres on, 2.3. It's alright. Oh, press the start button by accident, never mind.
That was our last.
Don't mind me.
No more scheduled pit stops.
Now we've got a gap on Magnussen, Russell, Mick, and whoever was behind them. So I'd be interested to see how we bridge that gap, if they can catch us and we're that slow, or whether we can maintain this pace in comparison to them and hopefully keep the gap and stay ahead for the rest of this Grand Prix. So come out ahead of Giovinazzi, who was in that train behind us. Constantly managing to oversteer out of those corners.
The gap to the car ahead is 15.3 seconds.
Coming out with Sainz and Ricciardo. And Hamilton. I don't know how we've managed that. I mean, Hamilton will take off and clear us. You'd like to think, unless he's got a problem. But that does mean we're into the top 10 somehow. With the pace we've got, I'm shocked that we're up this high. See the Mercedes making us look like a Formula 2 car. Feels like I'm driving a Formula 2 car, to be fair. We're that slow. They'll have a lot more grip than we will. Can't tell if he's going up the inside or not. I'll try and give him a bit of room. Try and get out the corner. Sainz is coming pretty quick. I'm going to let him go as well. Go inside, mate. Don't worry about me. Gone wide. Leave room on the inside there, but managed to get a good exit. Just try to hang it around the outside of me there. With Ocon coming past us.
The engine is down.
We might be 3 wide into here, nearly. Hang it round the outside of him. Keep the inside, get it stopped, rotated. A little bit of oversteer, but Good defending there. Try and bridge that gap. But he's going to have DRS and I don't, so we're going to be a sitting duck coming into this tight hairpin. I'm going to go inside. Let him go. We don't have the pace. I'll only be holding everyone up. Even more so than we were originally, and that's not our battle. It is points, but we haven't got the car for it today, unfortunately. I'm really hoping these lot are going to squabble and fight behind me as they're both coming so quick. I'm going inside. Giovinazzi goes inside. Hang it around the outside. Short shift into second, third. I'm going to keep them behind for another corner. But we are massively under pressure here. Norris has got past Giovinazzi now in the McLaren. He's gone right on the inside there. It's given us room. But I don't think we're going to have enough in a straight line. Look at that. We've got DRS and the slipstream. I'm getting nowhere near him. We need upgrades, and badly. We've got a big aero upgrade coming, but I think we massively need to help our engine and our power output, because it's the second Grand Prix in a row where we've struggled to catch people while in the slipstream and with DRS. With Vettel, another car that's going to be a lot quicker than us coming through. Those first two corners feel horrendous in this thing. So much understeer, got no grip. As that's the best I've gone through there, and it still felt horrendous. Which way are you going, mate? Go inside, you muppet. There you go. I'm not going to fight it. First gear, rotate, get the car out of the corner. I mean, it's about where Ferrari's at, isn't it? Mid-pack, 12th. I actually feel sad that Ferrari are so slow. Let me know what you guys think, but it actually hurts me not to see Ferrari, such a historical team with two great drivers, and Charles Leclerc, the young guy who's coming through and is the real deal, and Vettel, four-time world champion, who I personally think is massively, massively underrated. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Ferrari and Vettel. Is he going to go to Aston Martin for next year, and who does he replace as well? Going to go inside, defend hard. First gear, try and get it stopped, get it out. It's good defending there. It's important to slow it right down. That's why I use first gear, to really stop the car as I run a bit wide and help it rotate into the corner, and you can get a good exit as well. I tried to help the front end with the setup changes I made as well, which obviously hasn't helped. Well, it helped a bit, but not enough. And I wonder how much we're struggling from the power output being low as well, because at the moment I'm getting eaten alive here, and luckily the defending's been hard but fair at the same time, other than Gasly. But it seems like Gasly's got a bit of run for her back at the minute, because he's constantly hitting us. Onto the final lap, try and conserve as much ERS. I'm going to stay inside, force him round on the outside there. Bottas wins the Grand Prix. He's come steaming around the outside of us. Try and get that stopped. Had to flick Rich Mix in, and we've managed to salvage a crazy result. Oh, tell you what, P13 I'm so happy with. We are no pace whatsoever. We were so slow the whole way through, and driver of the day as well. I'm not surprised after our performance in qualifying and how the car felt. We've managed to salvage that. That's Alonso vibes. Pulling a car that's not very good to good results. And Mercedes winning again, who they only seem to be winning. No one else seems to be even close to winning a race at the moment. But What a result. 13th, really happy with that. Valtteri Bottas will be delighted with that result. Getting our podium pass upgraded as we keep driving. I actually love this feature, by the way. I think it's such a great addition to the game. Adds nice customization to it and allows you to be really creative with what you want to do with your car. P13 for us, and I'm so delighted with that because we were so slow. We need upgrades desperately need these upgrades to come in. We need to be doing the resource points, getting those in and really trying to improve this car because that felt horrendous. Mick Schumacher, you can see, struggled. Lance Stroll, the DNF, didn't quite get lapped, but his pace was 0.3 quicker than us. So our ability to defend and get through the first opening laps helped us in good stead, but that shows how slow we were. 0.3 off Russell, and we did the same time as Latifi, which the Williams is a slower car than us, so we really need to sort that out. Have a look at the standings. P14 at the minute for us, and we're 8th in the Constructors with those 2 points, just separating us from Alfa Romeo and Haas, but I can't imagine it will be too long before someone like Alfa Romeo particularly are able to really improve themselves and get up the grid and jump ahead of us pretty quickly. Felt like I got a pretty good start off the line, but it was really tricky into turn one. There's cars everywhere. It's such a tight line, but you can just sneak up the inside, which we were able to do. Got the jump on Mick, who didn't get the best of starts. Made my intentions made early. Up the inside into here, and you can see everyone just opens that gap up so it can fit right up the inside. Round the outside there. And exiting the first 2 corners ahead of both Alfa Romeos. And we snuck up the inside of both AlphaTauris. And this move round the outside here I felt was spectacular. Round the outside of Gasly. Stuck it in, stayed on the inside and managed to get the car up another position. But from this point onwards we were just defending the whole way through the race. Take out the little cone there. Couldn't do much more than what we were given, to be honest, having to defend from everybody. A little bit of contact as Gasly ran into the back of us for not the first time this year, let alone in this race. I feel like he's got some sort of vendetta against us, but we managed to keep him behind and sturdy defence from us in the car, and see him trying to send one up the outside there, and we're just able to get it stopped into this corner. We had enough for the ERS and my defending was pretty good, and here, I mean, what is he doing there? That is shocking from Gasly. I don't really know why he's trying to send up inside there, and it's not the first time. I'm sure it won't be the last with his AI. Pit stops went well, and at this point I was just struggling for pace massively. Sainz, and I believe it was Ocon, going past us. Tried to hang it around the outside with them, but managed to get away with it there, but wasn't too long before they managed to get past us. And it's nice slow-mo of us and Giovinazzi behind. Seeing through the visor, understeer for days through those first 2 corners, and a good result eventually. P13, pretty happy with that.
The fans really seem to enjoy that. You made it look easy. You really cut your way through the field today. What was your strategy?
I'm going to help our power unit group here because we need more straight line speed. We're really struggling in that area of the car. We've got a big aero update coming, so I think hopefully the front end will be able to be helped from that. So I'm going to go for a power unit upgrade. Foot to the floor, the power unit can take it. Hopefully that'll help their acclaim and boost us up a little bit.
It's safe to say you're smashing everyone's expectations, isn't it?
I'm going to say F1 is a team sport. We've all put in an extreme amount of effort. I want to back the team here because without them, I wouldn't be able to do the job on the Sunday in the race. So F1's a team sport. It's all about the team and help boost our acclaim there. And our cash, 253k in the bank. Completed a lot of our objectives there, which is great. A little bit of damage, but it is what it is. Up to 2.8 million now, and it might be time to invest some of that into our team and into our factory. I'm going to do a weight reduction upgrade for our chassis, which is going to be super important for us. And I'm also going to do an upgrade for our durability as well, because we've been struggling. Our MGUK and our power unit's not the best, so we need to really help build up the power of it, but also the durability. I'm going to improve our chassis department, try and get as many resource points in as possible. You can use those resource points wherever you want, but the chassis department will bring in more. It only costs 2 million. We'll still have 0.87 in the bank. So I'm going to go for that and hopefully keep trying to improve our team and our car, which means we can do more upgrades for our chassis in the coming months.
Here we are in the HQ of our newest Formula One team. We've got an awful lot to talk about, so let's jump straight in. Would it be safe to say that in terms of team orders, your career comes first in your team?
I'd say absolutely not. There's no team orders here. If Mick's the quicker driver, then he can stay ahead. I think it's all fair between the both of us. If we're going to battle, I'm okay with that. These things happen between teammates, but I would expect the same from him. We're going to be fair with our battling, so that's what I'm going to go for. Absolutely not. There's no team orders here.
Your team's been picking up points fairly consistently. Do you think you'll be able to become a challenge to the top teams in the future?
I'm going to boost our sponsor. It's really important to keep sponsors happy. And I'm going to say thanks to our friends at TriStar, we have the resources to do that now. And we do. With those sponsors and achieving those goals, it's going to make us develop our car a lot quicker and hopefully build ourselves up the grid and hopefully challenge those top spots.
Will your team be going for the Constructors' Championship this season or just for points?
I'm going to say we're still developing as a team, but we're hoping for plenty of points. And that's exactly accurate. We're still developing this team. We're brand new. We're trying to upgrade our different elements of the HQ and the drivers and resource points in the car. So that's what we're going to go for. And hopefully we can achieve some more points as we go throughout the season.
Let's talk about your new second driver. How are they settling in?
I'm going to say Mick's loving the car. Hopefully that'll boost him up a little bit. He's not been performing best, but I think he's probably enjoying being in Formula One. But hopefully we can give him a better car so he can move himself up the grid like we have and get some more better results.
Do you see your relationship with your second driver being long-term, or will you be looking for someone else if you're successful?
I'm going to say if they give us good results, their position is safe. And that's true. Formula One's about results. If you don't achieve those, then it's not for you. And if he doesn't perform and develop, which I'd like to develop him as much as possible, I'd like to think we'll keep him for the season, depending on how he goes over the next few Grand Prix with the decisions we can make. His contract will be up for renewal. So I'm going to say if he gives good results, their position is safe, because that's true. Good results mean that you're going to be staying in this team for the long term.
Well, thanks so much as ever for your time. It's hugely appreciated.
Thank you ever so much for watching. I really appreciate the support on these videos, and please like and subscribe onto the channel and get involved in the comment section down below. Any questions you guys have, let me know. Any suggestions as well. The questions I posed to everyone in the race about Ferrari and Vettel and those sorts of things, put them in the comments. Let's get a discussion going, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Cheers.